Hey, it's Bear and I'm here. You know what? Everybody, and I mean everybody, deals with some form of depression, anxiety, or PTSD. Usually not the latter. Most people don't usually have to deal with PTSD because you have to be through something that's pretty bloody horrendous to have deal with that. But let me explain a few things. I deal with those things at a very high level every day. I deal with severe depression, always have, my whole life. I deal with anxiety and I deal with PTSD from a lot of shit that went on in my life. I used to regret it. I used to let these things control me. They dictated how I lived my life. Now, there was a time before the PTSD I had managed to beat the depression and the anxiety, and I functioned at a pretty high level. I did a lot of things that most people would never even think of doing or comprehend doing. And that's not to say I'm better than anybody else. It's to say because I was driven to succeed at what I was doing at the time. But then things happened. I experienced things. I saw things. Survived things. And that's where the PTSD came from. And that really made it hard for me to just function every day. And I went to psychologists and psychiatrists, and they gave me drugs, and they tried to help me, and they tried to make me feel better about myself and about the things that I did and the things I had to do. And they tried to tell me it wasn't my fault. I was just doing what I was told to do. I was following orders. I was doing my job. Or the abuse that I got from one of my brothers was not my fault. It was his fault for being so mean and so nasty and taking out his anger and frustrations out on me. And then it dawned on me. It's all bullshit. Everything that has happened to me in my life happened for a reason. My fighting, my depression, my anxiety, my fear of talking to people, being on camera, being in front of people, my PTSD, the things I had to go through in my life were all meant to happen for a reason. There was a reason for everything. It was to make me stronger. It was to make me better as a person. Not better than anyone else, but it was to make me be the best me that I can be. Because you see, as a little kid, I got along better with animals than I did with people. If you ever go to Yosemite, there used to be a picture from 75, I think it was 75, maybe 76, summertime. There was a picture of this little kid, kind of a towhead blonde, out in Mirror Lake, which was dry at the time. Out on a sandbar playing with 3 brown bear cubs. Freaked everybody out. I mean, tour groups, tourists, campers were all gathering out, watching, horrified. Some were screaming. Couldn't understand how this little kid got out there and was playing with these bear cubs, and on the other side was Mama Bear, just watching. Then the park rangers showed up and were trying to figure out how they were going to come get me without getting attacked by Mama. And then Mama Bear just walked right past me, got between me and the crowd, and sat there. Yes, that was me. I don't know if they still got the picture up. I haven't been there in years, but they used to have it hanging up. And there was there was Mama Bear standing between the crowd and me, playing with her cubs. And finally, I just got tired of the noise and the huff and the fuss, and I got up and I walked by and I scratched Mama on the head, and she just kind of nudged up against me and walked on back to the crowd, and everybody was like, what the hell? The bear didn't attack him. See, the problem is I wasn't afraid. I had a blast. To me, it was fun. The same night, I'm outside and the raccoons are eating my Nerf football. And if you don't know what a Nerf football is, well, you're just too damn young. The raccoons were playing with my Nerf football and eating it, taking chunks out of it. I got mad, took my football away from them, and started smacking the raccoons. I sat down and the raccoons started playing with me. Freaked my mother out. I get along with animals better than I do with humans in most cases. So, why was I depressed? Why was I anxious? Because I didn't fit in with people. I didn't understand people. I couldn't understand how people could be mean to each other. But I still had my depression. I still felt worthless. I still felt less than other people. And it wasn't until I got into junior high and high school that I started feeling like less of a person. I started feeling what people were telling me. I mean, I had people that were telling me I was a fat, lazy SOB, though I wasn't fat. I was just big. Because they didn't know that I spent 4 hours every day in the gym and I worked out. They just saw me as big. So they assumed I was fat, but they'd call me a fat, lazy SOB. They, I let other people's...
It's 11 hours.
I let other people's opinions of me determine how I lived my life. And that affected me. That made me less of a person. And that amplified my depression. That amplified my anxiety. That amplified everything that I felt every day. Every time I tried to start a business, I let other people influence me. Every time I tried to step out of my comfort zone, I let other people influence me. I did, to the point where I let it get in my head and it affected me. It affected everything I did. To the point that I was paralyzed. I had my successes, I had my failures. But see, as I had my successes, I forgot about my failures. So when the next failure came along, when the next roadblock, stumbling block, whatever you want to call it, came up, it affected me at a profound level. Until I realized that I was the one in control. I am the one that is in control. No one else. I control how I feel. No one else controls how I feel. Animals either love you or they hate you. There's no ambiguity with them. Even cats, as ambivalent as cats are towards people, they either love you or they hate you. If they tolerate you, they love you. They accept you. But if they attack you and they bite you, they claw at you, whatever it is, They don't want you around. They don't want to be around you. And that may be temporary because you're giving off bad energy. That's just how animals are. I don't give permission to anyone to control how I feel anymore. I do not give myself permission to feel bad when shit goes wrong. I do not give myself permission to feel bad because things didn't go right. It happens. It's a test. It's a challenge. It's just one more chance for the universe to say, do you really want this? And I have to come back and say, you're damn right I do. Because this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm called to do. I am not going to quit because some jackass decides, oh, that's too big of a dream. I don't care what you think. I don't care what anybody thinks. In the group Unlimited Life Academy in Facebook, I love everybody in there. I admire Ron Carter for everything he's gone through, and he's still standing strong and he's growing. And he got hit with some devastating news, and he still is keeping a smile on his face, and he's still moving forward, doing what he has to do. Corey, with what he's been through, he picked himself up, dusted himself off, and regrouped, and he's growing stronger. Jerome, with what he's been through, he's still going strong. I admire Jay. I admire Twan. I admire Anna. Anna for stepping out of her comfort zone and realizing it doesn't matter what the hell people think of her accent. Personally, I love her accent. Just like I love Ileana's accent. I don't know why they were so afraid of it. But that's a personal thing for them. But they gave permission to those feelings to stop them from moving forward until they decided enough. They don't give those feelings permission anymore to stop them from doing what they want to do. And I admire them for that. I admire everyone in this group who reaches out, who steps out, who does what they have to do to get what they want and go where they want to go. I no longer give myself permission to feel bad. I no longer give myself permission to take it easy, to watch TV all day, to fart around on a video game, to whatever. If it doesn't work towards my goal of helping other people, then I have to give myself permission to do something else. See, I don't give myself permission to take a day off and be lazy. I have to from time to time. I have to make sure I take time off, otherwise I get sick. I can't go 24 hours a day like I used to. I can't do Hell Week like I've done it before. I can't go for days without sleep. I can't go long stretches without eating. Because if I don't, I get sick. It's just a fact of life. So I have to give myself permission. I don't do anything that I don't give myself permission to do. So I don't give my depression permission to stop me. I don't give my anxiety permission to step in my way and prevent me from doing what I need to do. I don't give my PTSD permission to fuck up my entire life. I control it. It's all up here. It's all in here. The depression, the anxiety, the PTSD is all in my head. It's how my head, how my brain perceives the events that have transpired in my life. It's how it accepts what has happened. And it's how it accepts what I need to do. So I consciously do not give the parts of my brain that want to stop me permission to stop me. I tell it what to do. And every one of you can do the same thing. You must be stronger than your programming. You were programmed to accept life certain ways. You were programmed from childhood to accept certain things in your life. If you don't like them, change the program. It's just like that person who didn't like the title of my video the other day. If they didn't like it, they didn't need to report it. That is the chicken shit way out. They should have either watched the video and made a determination to whether or not it was worth reporting, but they chose not to. They chose to report based solely on the title. They assumed. They didn't follow through and find out. The other thing they could have done is just ignored it and moved on. But no. In their mind, they thought they were doing something good. Because it must be bad. Oh my God, he said murder. People are too sensitive today. That's why they can't get out of their own damn way. Because they're so busy looking for things to offend them, to upset them, that they will find them. See, they're programming themselves to be offended and hurt by everything. So guess what? They're hurt and offended by everything. If you don't like a program, turn it off. Change the channel. It's the same thing with your mind. If you don't like what your mind is telling you, change the program. Tell it what you want it to do. Tell it how you want to live. Tell it the life you want. If you live in a shack that was made from scrap and sleep on a dirt floor and you don't like it, you have two choices. Get over it and accept it and live that shitty life, or get up and change it. You choose to give yourself permission to accept the circumstances of your life. You give yourself permission to accept the bad in your life. If you don't like it, change it. Take that permission away. You have that control. End of rant. Have a great day. I love y'all. Peace out. Sorry I can't do these live, but hey, at least I'm adding them to my YouTube channel. Maybe someday y'all all want to subscribe and help build my numbers up. I think I've got 12 today. Peace out. Love y'all. Have a great day. See you in the next one.